Hi, my name is Sarvesh and you're watching D365 Notes, and I'm a functional consultant in all A technology, and I will be covering many topics on this YouTube channel. We will be creating a legal entity and covering different scenarios, purchase orders, sales orders, and many other things in related to finance. This is about me, and today's topic we will be covering how to create legal entity in any D365 finance and operation environment. So this is my finance and operation environment homepage. Default company is DAT. This is my default legal entity, DAT legal entity here. So if you see this DAT, if you click on this DAT, you can select legal entity in finance and operation. So this is the basic navigation. So we have demo data available from Microsoft, and we can create as many as legal entity in the finance and operation. So these are the sample data legal entity. So for example, I am a new business owner and I am purchasing this D365 finance and operation, or my customer is purchasing D365 finance and operation. So we cannot use this legal entity. So in that case, a consultant have to create a new legal entity in the system and configure as per the client requirement. So that's what a consultant do in day out activity. He will take the requirement and configure the system as per the client's requirement. This is the basic process. So for creating a legal entity, uh, let's start how to create a legal entity. So for creating legal entity, you need to go to modules, scroll down, organization admin, organizations, legal entities. So this is my default legal entity form. So I will be clicking on new button. So after clicking on new button, system will open a new form where I can create or mention my legal entity name, company code, and country and region. So my name will be Trade Link Limited. So Trade Link Limited is a basic company or some kind of retail company, and it will be basically trading item from here and there. So from purchasing from its vendor and selling to its customer, something like that scenarios we will be covering in this. So we will be covering finance topic in this legal entity. So this is my company code. What is company code? So at the time of selecting legal entity, we should be able to identify the legal entity. So basically you can mention around 4 character, not more than 4. It can be less than 4. So in my case, I will be mentioning Trade Link Limited. So it should be identical to your legal entity. So after mentioning company, make sure that you have selected country and region as per your client country and region. Otherwise the system will behave like, for example, you are based from India and you have selected UAE as a country and region. Then system will show you legal requirement and legalization of UAE, not as per India. So make sure you have selected correct country and region. Then click OK. System will create a new legal entity for you. So congratulations, you have created a new legal entity in the system. Now here comes the next part after this. Here if you see, we have many fast tabs available. For example, general, address, contact information, and others also available. So I will be opening this general. So here in general we have memo. Okay, so under the memo you can put about information of your legal entity. means what the uh, trade link limited basically do in day out activity. So let me copy paste here. So I have mentioned memo of my company, then save. And in hierarchy, so basically in hierarchy means when you are operating with like hierarchy, first you will come, then managers, and then staff. So we can use this kind of configuration in like a department and branch like branches and cost center. We will be covering this in another topic, not today. So we will discuss in this topic in brief. This is not the correct time to discuss this. Now, financial consolidation. So what does that mean? For example, you have multiple legal entities available in system, but the pain point of your customer or your organization is that you have to manually consolidate data like balance sheet, trial balance for each legal entity. So in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation, we have feature available in which we can consolidate all the legal entity data in one legal entity and extract the reports as per the requirement. So if you turn on this parameter, so for example, you have 10 legal entities created. Okay, you have to consolidate all the data of 10 legal entities. So you need to create a new legal entity and turn on this parameter, and be sure that you are creating this legal entity for your consolidation purpose, because once you enable this parameter, you cannot post any transaction in that specific legal entity. So this is the parameter used for consolidation. And similarly, these two parameters are like after configure like creating consolidation legal entity, you can run elimination process for your legal entity. So you can use this parameter. We will be covering this topic in depth in near future. So stay tuned for this video. Now I will be selecting my language. So my language will be English, India. Now time zone, make sure you have selected correct time zone, because sometime what happen is like you are running a bad job and like you have give a time for running a bad job as like 6 a.m. in the morning, but like your time zone was incorrect and it was like US time, so it will be running in a night or something like that. It can happen, so make sure you have selected a correct time zone for your legal entity. So my India time will be plus 5:30 Chennai, Kolkata. So this I have selected. So this is general fast tab. Now I will be coming to addresses. So here system by default created one new address for my legal entity with country and region, which is my India. Now I will be adding some other information. If you see that there is no much address information is available, so click on edit. So this is the information available on the my address page. Now name and description, name or description. So it will be my legal entity name and description. I can mention or I can update also, but now let it be. I will be putting the same purpose. So basically there might be a build to and ship to address. For example, we have reports available in the system where or like you have legal requirement that my billing address will be or my business address will be something like Jaipur, and my delivery and my warehouse address will be something like it's outside the Jaipur or inside the Jaipur in different location. So in that case we can use this purpose as a business address. So any invoice is coming to my business address, delivery will goes to your delivery address, which is ship to address. So this is my business address. So whenever any report is generated, so it will be using, or it will be the bill to address will be this business address. Now zip code, so I will be selecting 30. This is my Jaipur address. So this is my zip code, and make sure that this is your primary address. So it will be system will be considering while printing report this is your primary address, so it will be printing this address information. If it is not a primary address, then it will be considering whatever primary is there. So make sure that this is a primary address. So now address look much clearer now. So this is my address, business address. Now I will be adding my delivery address as well. So I will be putting delivery. Purpose of address will be delivery address. So let me select. Country region, I will be selecting India. Yes. And my zip code will be Chandpur Bazaar, Jaipur. So city will be Jaipur, state will be Rajasthan, and this is my primary address. So this is how you can configure multiple address in your legal entity. Now this address tab is completed. Here contact information. So for example, you have some reporting person or contact information available for your legal entity. So I will be mentioning my phone number. I will be putting description as a phone, and like my contact number will be something like that. And similarly I have email also, email address. So select type as the email address. We have multiple types available, so I will be selecting email address. It just help if you have any primary or like something like that requirement, you can mark this as a primary and this phone number as primary also. So now I am not mapping. So this is how you can configure a contact information in the system. Now I will show you one thing which is related to legalization. So if I select registration number, so if you see this Japan reporting is disabled because my legal entity country and region is India, so that's why it is disabled. So some other company like Brazil has their own like a set of requirement for the legal entity to be enabled. Canada has own registration number and GST HST account identifier number, and UK has their own, and France similarly. Like every every country has their own legal requirement for every business. Maybe it like for some country it can be same, but it may differ. So make sure you have selected correct country and region in your legal entity while creating your legal entity. So I think I have covered how to create basic legal entity, basic information, a high level overview of this legal entity creation. So in next video we will be covering about number sequence, how to create number sequence, how to manage number sequence. So stay tuned for that video, and till that time keep learning and earning. So tata, bye bye, see you in the next video.